Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, hope you are well. Today we are going to discuss one of Robert Browning's poems, that is My Lost Duchess. Now about Robert Browning and his lives and works, there is a video I have already uploaded and you might have watched that. So we need not go to the biography and works and other social background of Robert Browning because that is already discussed. Now the poem My Last Duchess, that is written in 1842 by Robert Browning. Now better in the beginning I should explain a short summary of the poem. The poem is based on the murder of the last Duchess of the Duke. Now in the poem there is the Duke of Ferrara. Ferrara, that is an Italian city during Renaissance, and all the Renaissance qualities are also represented in this poem. The Duke was fond of Greek art, and he has made a gallery in his palace, and there were different kind of art, pictures and portraits of different historical figures. Now in the beginning of the poem, the Duke of Ferrara, he is in the company of a messenger. Better there should be a background of the poem. Now so far the Duke has killed his wife and he wants to marry again. Now in the neighborhood there was another count, and the daughter of that count wants to marry the Duke. So that count sends his messenger to ask the count to marry his daughter. Now that is the background. Now the messenger, he is taken to the gallery by the Duke of Ferrara, and he has been shown the portrait of the Duchess. The Duke points out that this is the portrait of my last Duchess, who was very much sympathetic and loving and caring, but she has very one you can say a drawback or a shortcoming in her personality, and that was that she was giving smile to each and everyone. If someone was there to offer a very ordinary kind of service to her, so she was there to thank her. It means that she did not differentiate between an expensive gift or, for example, an expensive service and in some petty kind of services and ordinary kind of services. She thanked in the same way whosoever offered her any kind of service, and the Duke did not like this thing. So the Duke says that her smile, if that is there on her face, so it is not only for her husband, because she used to give smile to each and everyone. So this quality of the Duchess exasperated the Duke, and he strangulated her. He executed her. So that is the main theme, summary of the poem. Now we are going to start it line by line. That is my lost Duchess, painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. Now, as I told you, that the messenger is in the company, the messenger from the count, he is with the Duke of Ferrara, and the Duke of Ferrara has taken him upstairs to that he may see the portrait of the Duchess. So now he points to the portrait of the Duchess and he praises the painter also that he has drawn the picture in such a way that it seems as if it is alive. It is something living. I call that piece a wonder. And this portrait, it is a wonderful thing. Why it is a wonderful thing? Because it looks alive. One thing is that. And there is brightness and there is smiling on her face and there is some shyness on her face. And you know that when uh, painting is a difficult job because only a great painter can create that shyness and you can say emotions on the face of a portrait. So that is something difficult. So after all, the the painter and the sculptor that was very skilled, and he created all these things in the portrait of the Duchess. Frappendolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Now, Frappendolf, that is the supposed name of an artist, or you can say a sculptor, who was called by the Duke to draw a picture of, or to you can say to draw the portrait of the Duchess. And he did not let that painter to sit for days and days and days to draw the picture of that Duchess, but he allowed only 24 hours, one day. And only one day was allowed to Provendors because here the Duke says that he did not let his wife to develop some relations or to have freedom of movements, and she was completely controlled by the Duke. Here it means like that. Then he says, "Will it please you sit and look at her?" He asked the messenger that better you should sit here and look at her closely. I said, "Profendol by design, for never read strangers like you that picture countenance, the depth and passion of its earnest glance." Now, here he says that Frappendolf has drawn the picture in such a way that if some strangers are here and they are looking at this picture, so they want to ask questions about the beauty and the flush and the blush and the joy, the sport of joy on her countenance. They ask about these things. So, as far I have told you that it is a dramatic monologue, and Robert Browning, he is the master of writing dramatic monologues. So this is also the one of his monologues. So here the Duke might have sensed, he might have observed in the eyes of the messenger that he wants to ask something. For that and monologue, you know, no one other is supposed to take participation in the conversation. Only so far it is monologue. Mono mean one, or log mean that discourse or discussion or speaking. So only one man is supposed to speak in monologue. So he only sensed that the messenger the messenger from the king wants to ask some question about the portrait. So he senses that thing and he answers that you are not the first to ask this question, because whosoever comes and visits the portrait, they ask the same questions and they turn to me, but to myself they turn to me to ask questions. Since no one puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I, and there was no one in the palace to draw the curtain from this portrait, only I am allowed to draw the curtain. Mean to say that still he wants his duchess to be concealed and to be veiled from other people. Only he is supposed and he is allowed to draw the curtain. It means like that. And seemed as they would ask me any It means that other strangers also wanted to ask the same question. If they durst mean if they dare ask question, if they have got the courage to ask question. How such a glance came there? They used to ask like you that how such a glance came over here. The very eyes are very much beautiful. So how these eyes are being created by the sculptor or their artist, Frappendolf. There is a kind of depth and there is a kind of passion and there is some emotions seen in the eyes of my beloved, my wife. So where they are coming from. So not the first are you to turn and ask thus. You are not the first to ask this question. Before you, a lot of strangers have asked the same question. Sir, it was not her husband's presence only. Called that spot of joy to into the Duchess' cheek. Now, as I already told you, that her smile and her joy and her pleasure, it was not only for her husband. She used to give her smiling to each and everyone. Now, the same thing is discussed. He addresses the messenger that spot of joy that you are looking at in the countenance, in the face of my beloved. So that is not meant only for her husband, because she used to give smile to each and everyone. Spot of joy might refer to that dimple, in the face that a kind of hole is being made. So that is called a dimple, and that is also called the spot of joy. So it means like that. Called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek. Perhaps Raffendol chanced to say, her mental lapse or my lady's rest too much. Now he says to the messenger that the spot of joy or the smiling on her face, it might be because of that remark that Frappendol might have told her that your clock that is over on her wrist. Mean to say your wrist is not properly visible, so I cannot look at your wrist that I may catch it. So for that beautiful remark, she might have smiled, and that smile had been captured by the painter. Or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half flush that dies along her throat. Or this spot of joy, or this happiness, or the smile on her face, it might be because of that another remark of Frappendolf that the half flush, the reddishness, or the beauty that lies around her throat, my paint cannot reproduce it. And it is too much beautiful. Your neck and your face that is too much beautiful, and uh, my painting cannot reproduce it. And my painting fails to reproduce your beauty. So that is also a good remark. So for this thing, she might have smiled, and the painter might have caught that spot of joy, that smiling on her face during her art, during his artist. And while he was painting, too, he might have caught that spot of joy, that smile. Such stuff was courtesy. Such remarks, ordinary kind of remarks about her beauty. This was a great thing for her. This was a kind of great respect and honor and hospitality for her. She gave a lot of smiling to such kind of remarks. She thought and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. So she thought these kind of remarks courtesy, uh, something great, something praise and admiration, and it is for that reason that sport of joy is there. She had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She has got a heart. Now she is talking about some qualities of his beloved, of his Last Duchess, that she has got such a sympathetic heart that the Duke cannot explain what kind of heart she has got. Because it was very caring and loving and sympathetic. She was giving smiling to each and everyone. He cannot explain. She liked whatever she looked on, and whatever she was looking at, she was liking that thing. And her looks went everywhere. She was looking everywhere. Sir, it was all one. My favor at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in west, the puff of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode with around the terrace, all and each would draw from her alike the approving speech, or blush at least. Now he describes certain qualities that she has no sense of discrimination. I have given her a very expensive gift, a very costly gift. Now that she is wearing on her breast, there might have been some ornaments or some very expensive kind of gift it was that she is wearing now in her neck. And then she used to compare that gift with some ordinary kind of services. For example, if someone was there to offer her a ride on the mule, or if someone was there to offer the branch of some berry, strawberry or blackberry or red berries. So she used to take that thing and she used to thank in the same way as she would thanked me, as she would thank me. Now, this thing was very much irritating for the Duke. And then he further says that she thanked men. Good, that is something good if she thanked men, but thanked somehow. But there must be some differences, some discrimination. There must be some scale of thanking, as you might have observed in your daily life. When you are saying thank you to some person who is a great officer, or who is some a rich man to your thanks, that is something else. And you, when you are taking someone poor to your thanks, that is that is a different one. That you know. That is a practical observation of the people. So he also says that but thanked somehow. She must be differentiate. She must be differentiating between the two thanks. I know not how. Anyhow, should she thank, but after all, she must thank in a way. As if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. Now I am a great man, an important man. My family background goes to 900 years old. My family is 900 years old, and I married her. That was a great gift for her, that I have given myself to her. But she did not care of that. She did not take any care of that gift, and she parallelizes it and she matches it with the gift of anybody, with some ordinary gifts. Who would stoop to blame that sort of trifling? Now, no one will be there to bow down to the status of that thing, to accept this kind of behavior in his beloved. That she does not give value to your gifts, and whatever the value she gives to your gift, she also gives to the gift of some ordinary people and ordinary gifts. So that is a kind of insult. To bow down mean to insult, to stoop. But and this childish behavior, such trifling mean this childish behavior, childish conduct. Who will suffer and who will tolerate it. Even had you skill in speech, which I have not. If you are an orator, for example, if you are a motivator, for example, if you can speak in a good way, if you can convince someone with your speech, with your talking, so to make your will, and you will make your will mean to 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 counsel her and to advise her quite clear to such an one, and you should speak clearly to such an one, to my to someone who is like my beloved, my wife, and say just this and that in you disgusts me, that this quality or that quality, that is something hateful in your temperament, so better you should avoid it. Here you miss or there exceed the mark. And if you ask her that here you are missing the point in your behavior, they are not good here, and in another case your behavior is exceeding the limit, is exceeding the limit. So if you counsel her, if you advise her in these words, and if she let herself be listened, so in the beginning she will not listen to you at all. But if even but if she listens to you, then so not plainly set her wits to you also. She will not listen to you carefully, and she will not act upon your advices. Forsooth, and made excuse. She will make excuses at once. She will make excuse, and she will justify each and every action of her behavior. Even then would be some stooping, but this is also an insulting thing to to go down to the status of some ordinary people and dictate her and instruct and direct her. And I choose never to stoop, and I do not want to go down to that status. I do not want to instruct her or to counsel her or to go to the status of an ordinary man. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. There is no doubt. Whenever I was passing by her, I was passing near her, so she used to smile. She used to give a smile to me. But who passed without much the same smile? It means that each and everyone who used to smile, who used to pass nearby her, so she used to give a smile to them. And her husband was not alone whom she was giving her smile to, but everyone can get a smile from her who used to pass near her. But who passed without much the same smile? This group, this very habit of my beloved, exasperated me, irritated me. I got angry. No, I gave commands, and then all smiles stopped together. Then the Duke orders his servant to kill her, to murder her. I gave commands, and then all the smiles stopped together. What does it mean? She was killed. And now, there she stands, as if alive. And now you are looking at the portrait of my beloved, of my last Duchess, as if she is alive. Will it please you, sir, to rise again? Now, the thing is finished. You are supposed to come up, to stand up. We will meet the company below, because certain guests are waiting us. We are going downstairs. Then I repeat, the Count, your master, known munificence, is ample warrant that no just pretense of mine for dowry will be disallowed. Now the Duke is also a very greedy man and a very cunning kind of man. He is in search of dowry. He is of the opinion, or he believes, that if he marries the daughter of the Count, a lot of dowry will also be coming with her. He says that he knows. He asked the messenger that there is no doubt. I know the generosity. Beneficence mean the generosity of your account. And if I claim, pretense here mean claim. If I claim for some dowry to, he would not mind it. He will give a lot of dowry to her. It will not be disallowed, and he will allow the dowry. Though his fair daughter self, as I avowed at starting, is my first object. Although my first object is to get married with the daughter of the count. The dowry is not my first object, but my first object is the marriage with the count's daughter. But it is vice versa. The first object is dowry. Nay, we will go down together. Sir, now they are going downstairs, and near the stair there is another portrait, there is another picture. Notice Neptune. Now, Neptune is in Greek mythology. That is the god of sea. You mean to say sea god. He is sea god. So there is the picture of that sea god, though taming a seahorse. Now the picture of a god, sea god was there, and he was riding a seahorse, and he was taming it. Taming means controlling it. The sea horse, it was very agile and very quick, you can say. So the god was there, Neptune, and he was controlling it, he was subduing it, he was taming it. What does it mean? It also means that the Duke wants to convey the message to the Count and to the messenger of the Count that I am a very hard-hearted man, stone-hearted man, and I am a very cruel kind of man. I will be controlling each and every kind of wife. Mean to say that if your countess, for example, the daughter of the count, if she is doing something wrong or if she is not to be controlled, I am there to control her. I will be controlling her in a good way. Though thought heredity, this portrait, the portrait of this sea god and who is riding a sea horse. So this portrait is very rare. It is a very expensive thing. It is considered as a rare thing, rarity. Which class of Innsbruck? That is also a supposed name of a sculpture or an artist. Class is the name of that sculptor of an artist of Innsbruck, the name of a place, cast in bronze for me, and he has sculpted it. He has made it for me in bronze. Thank you, dear students. That is the end of the poem. Now, if you like the video, please share and subscribe and also share with your friends. And if you have any question about the poem or about the writer, you can ask me in the comments. Thank you so much.